If you have a garage door, I can tell you it was most likely not installed properly. And if it's more than a few years old, guarantee that it's sun damage. The plastic, the rubber is wearing out, bowing, falling apart, looking like crap. Well, in today's episode, I'm going to show you how to replace it so it looks just like this. But oh, it may seem like it's easy, but I can tell you it is easy, but you have to actually follow some crucial steps so that way it lasts a long time. Also, I'm going to be giving you tips and tricks on what type of a weather seal to get so that way you don't waste your money and your time. So, with that said, let's go ahead and get started. So, step number one with replacing the weather seal of your garage door is going to be get up a knife, utility knife, and you're gonna need to cut the caulking all the way around the trim. Now, if you have stucco or if it's painted over, that's gonna be the best way to actually start, because otherwise, as you start pulling it with a crowbar, like you can see right here, it's gonna pull the stucco or the paint along with it. That technique applies with anything that you install in your house that has been painted over, drywall over, or stuccoed over, like this house right here. Now, this is a weather seal that I'm using right now. I can tell you there are a lot of seals out there, but this one so far is going to be the best. Why? Because it works, it's quality, and I have no complaints about it. So, as you can see over here, I took the old weather seal out because it was bowing. The rubber was wearing out. It was just nasty looking. So the owner wanted to replace it with something that actually worked. So after you remove it, I guarantee that you're gonna have some silicone or caulking stuck to the wall. It is very important to actually get that off and make the wall as flush as possible. So, step number one is going to be to install the upper weather seal first. Now, the weather seal itself it has holes already drilled into it or cut into it, and that's exactly what I'm following over here. Now, one of the main tips that I'm going to give you in this video, and do not forget, is to use some screws. You don't have to use screws for every single hole, but I can tell you every few holes you want to put a screw in there, because that will prevent the weather seal from bowing in the future or coming off. As you can see over here, I have a brat nail. This is 18 gauge brat nail, so whatever holes that I'm not putting screws in, I'm using the brat nail, which is okay. But when your house is first built, they're building houses fast nowadays. They don't care about doing it right. They just wanted to get it done as fast as possible, so that's the main reason why they do not use screws, because it takes a lot longer. When I replace weather seals, I like to use screws because I guarantee my work and I don't want to come back. So make sure you do the top first. Pull one screw, especially in the corner, and then every 2-3 holes you go ahead and put another screw, and in between you can use your brat nailer like I'm using right here. So when it comes time to cutting your weather seal, as you can see over here, I use a square to keep my saw, my circular saw straight, and then that's what I use to cut my weather seal. It is plastic, so it cuts very easily. I don't think it's gonna cut with scissors, so you're gonna need something bigger than that. You can also use a miter saw or whatever else you wanna use. For me, this was the fastest way to do it. My recommendation when doing the weather seal is going to be for you to actually pre-cut, measure, and then cut about a foot longer than you need, and then the pieces that you cut, let them lay in the sun for about a day. Put some weights on it to keep it from rolling back onto itself, so that way it will keep its shape, because that was the hardest part of this job, was just keeping the weather seal straight. As you can see over here, it wants to roll onto itself, and the outside temperature that day was over 100 degrees, so it was hot. I can tell you, if it's cold in your area, it's just not gonna work out. So let it warm up out there in the sun or inside your house, and then hopefully it will retain its shape. If you don't have time to wait, you can always get somebody to help you. They can hold the weather seal against the frame while you can nail it or screw it in place, and that's gonna be the easiest way. Anyway, so as you can see over here, I am drilling into the footer of the house. Now the footer of this particular house comes up 4 inches off the ground, and that is how most houses are built in my area. This is just a slab on ground, on grade, and most of the slabs are usually about 4 inches off the ground. So the previous installer, they just nailed the weather seal right where the footer meets the frame, and then they left the bottom part just loose, and they siliconed it in place, and that's how it was held up. Over time, it's gonna separate because the seal is gonna wear out, and then it's just gonna start bowing out, and that is the main reason why I replace these seals all the time. So to prevent that from happening in the future, what I did, I just pre-drill a hole into the footer, and then I used some anchors, concrete anchors, and then that's how I secured that last bit of the weather seal into the concrete footer. Anything on the wood, I use screws or nails. As you can see over here, I'm using screws. But as soon as I got onto the concrete, I had to use a concrete anchor. And I don't know if your house is going to be like this or not. If it's not, and you have wood going all the way down to the ground, this is going to be irrelevant for you. But for most people who are in Arizona or California, I can tell you, or the West Coast, it's going to be something like this. Now, when looking up these weather seals, it's the easiest way to find it is to type in garage door weather seal top and sides, and that's how you're gonna get this one, because otherwise all the seals that you find online is gonna be the bottom seal of the actual door itself. Top and sides is the key word for finding this type of seal right here. Another thing is you can find it locally, but usually they only have 7 footers and 9 footers. This is a 2-car garage door, so it's 16 feet wide, so those sizes wouldn't work for me, and I didn't want to have a split in the middle. So that's the main reason why I have to go online and buy a roll, which they usually come in different sizes. So here I'm doing the other side, as you can see. Now this side over here, the footer was sticking out a little bit. I didn't have my grinder, concrete grinder, otherwise I would have used my grinder in this area here to straighten out, flatten the footer to make it even with the frame. But to be honest, after caulking, very minimal. Unless you're really looking at it or somebody told you about it, you would never notice. And that's how they installed the last one, so I just follow what they did. And then the customer was fine with it. He didn't even notice until I told him. So I asked. I wanted to make sure before actually doing it this way. As you can see on the bottom, there's a little gap in there. I was trying to line up my screw here with the concrete anchor that I put in the footer, and I was off just a tiny bit, so I had to angle the screw to go right into it. So when installing your weather seal, you always want to do the top first, and then you want to do the sides. And the reason for that is because when the door is closing, it may catch the rubber seal and fold it in. I didn't show that in the video, but initially, before I started installing it, or when I did it for the first time, I always wonder why not do the sides first and then the top, because that's what makes sense, right? But usually it's because when the door is closing, it will catch the rubber on the top first, and then that will allow the rubber itself on the sides to fold out instead of into the door. And that's the main problem that I had later on with the door, the weather seal itself. Now over here, I'm caulking it, and then painting it, making it look nice. A lot of people, wonder why not use screws. You can use screws, like I said. Builders don't, because it takes longer, and when you're doing a lot of doors, it adds up the time. But as you can see over here, I'm just painting it, and then right there, you see how the door is closing, and you see how it's catching the seal, but it's pushing it out. The reason for that is because, well, it's touching the top first, right, and then the top will push the seal on the sides out so it doesn't fold in. Another trick that nobody else out there is going to show you, especially when installing this weather seal, those corners up there, you see how well, don't worry about that right there. That's gonna get replaced in the next appointment. But that corner, the corners of the weather seal right here, what I did, I actually glued it in place. You can just right there. And the reason I did that is because I had an issue because the weather seal was folding in. The door was just catching it in a weird way, and it was just folding in. So what I did, I just used my glue right there that I use for trim. This is just temporary, so it will hold the seal in place, so it wouldn't fold in. And with the heat and time, it's going to retain the shape of the garage door by being pressed against it with the heat, and then it will just retain its shape. So that way, when the door opens and closes, it's not gonna fall onto itself. And the reason why that's happening is because, for one, it was in a box, and I didn't let it rest out there in the sun to soften, and it was just stiff. So the heat and then just being against the garage door, that will, like I said, will fix itself, and then the folding in issue is not going to be an issue anymore. So I just used the glue to temporarily keep it in place, and then this has been, it's been a few weeks now. I haven't heard anything back from the customers, so it's working just fine. But the only issue you may have, like I said, is the weather seal is just gonna fall onto itself. That is normal with this type of installation. Just close your garage door and leave it closed and try to minimize opening it for at least a few days to allow that seal to shape itself around your garage door. Other than that, if you like the video, don't forget to like it. If you haven't subscribed, what are you waiting for? And as always, I will see you next time.